Revelation chapter 17, verse 7. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carrieth her, which hath the seven heads of the horns. And this is the Apostle John, on the island of Patmos, and he's talking with the angel, in his dream, in his vision. And he's saying, why is he marveling? Because the allure of Babylon the Great, man, is so splendid. When he saw it, you can imagine from biblical times to now, to that time of now. First of all, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Shah, double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone. It's going to be a quick lesson real quick. Because, the splendor of Babylon the Great in the heydays, man, she was like one of the most magnificent places on earth to go, where everybody wanted to be. Verse 8, and the beast that thou sawest and is not shall ascend to the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Let me skip past that. And it's talking about the whore. It's talking about Babylon the Great, aka America. Shalakia, kind of going off the hip, but we're in a time now where truth is being revealed, and we're starting to see this whore for who she is. And the 10 horns, Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, and the 10 horns shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So she's not that beautiful whore that she was once before. When a whore first hit the track or hit the block, when she's young and fresh, everybody wants a piece of her. Everybody wants to get at her. But after a period of years, because the whore time goes fast, man. After about 10 years, she's totally worn out. She can put as much makeup on as she would like, and try to hide and mask. Damn, what the fuck? And try to mask that aging. And right now, that's what Babylon the Great, America, that whore. She's lost her allure. She's no able to deceive with her beauty. And everybody's seeing the whore for what she is. The underbelly is being revealed. They pull up the skirt and they're seeing that there's a waist trainer on, and all hell is falling out. So, they're starting to see the wickedness that she do behind closed doors, and with what they're doing, like Epstein Island is just the tip of the iceberg of what's really going on. And like I said, it's been going on always to the foundation. And I was watching one of these dudes' videos, he's appeared to be an Edomite, talking to his Edomite audience, and said this thing is corrupted, man. The whole thing need to go down. And it's probably been like that from the beginning. So these Edomites starting to realize this whole shit has been corrupted from the beginning. And it started off, with the Edomites, on you jakes, man. But now they're starting to be revealed. They're doing it to their own people, these elites. And like I said, these Edomites don't give a fuck. But let me go to Amazing Lucas, and he's going to talk about it.
Hey, there's no way you can have that sense of pride, bro. I would feel that if you have an IQ of room temperature and you're witnessing what's going on, that pride has been taken out back and done like old young, bro. You had this woman trying to talk about the Dow Jones. People are questioning, hey, so what happened to the kids? Have y'all arrested anybody from the kids? And she is doing straight up Nero type of dodges, bro.
And none of them asked Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein. How ironic is that? You know why? Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000.
What? She's deflecting these bullets, and I'm just This is insane to witness. In her speech, she's talking about the Dow Jones. She's been coached by Trump, and that blows my mind because I'm like, don't you have a law degree, boo boo? Like why are you getting advice from Trump? Because you can tell, because it's exactly what Trump does. Anytime somebody asks him about, the Epstein files, it's always the Democrat notes. Okay, why are we talking about the kids that were trafficked that I touched? Okay, why don't we talk about look at the stock market? Right? Look at what I've done for the country. All right, look at my approval rating. That's his MO. It's always deflecting. Like, hey, why are you talking about the bad stuff? Talk about the good stuff. And that's the mindset in which she came to this healing. Because she didn't address anything. She was flat out asked, hey, have you made an arrest?
So I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to answer the question the way I asked it.
Now, here's the funny part. They've already said that there's no client list. They've already said countless times, what are you talking about? That these people have done mean things or done heinous things to these women. I have no evidence of this. They have gone out of their way to tell you, F you, all right? They've gone out of their way to be very up in front. So I guess transparency, when they want to say this is the most transparent.
And by the way, fair use is only for monetary. It's not for monetary purposes. It's only for educational purposes and entertainment. But you see what's going on, man. Ain't nothing but a big clown show. Nothing's really going to happen, come out of it. And it's a beautiful time to be in. The Lord's gone. We see this horror, which the Israelites, they've been telling the people for so long, and people been looking at them like it was crazy, conspiracy theorists and all the other, jargon they like to throw out there. But now we seeing these things are being revealed, man. It's being revealed, and it's a beautiful time, and that we're close to the end. We're close to the end of our new beginning with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shah. Let me pull this other video up real quick that I watched before that one. This guy here.
I've seen people still in their feelings about some type of partisanship, the tribal mentality. Let me tell you, this is the most disturbing thing that I believe has happened in modern American history, one of the biggest cover-ups. And I'm going to walk through.
And fair use is only for educational purposes, entertainment purposes, not for monetary gain.
We're actually looking at, okay? Talking about Pam Bondi, the Attorney General. She shows up with what Thomas Massey says is some type of insult flashcards. Staff literally gave her flashcards with individualized insults, but she couldn't memorize them. So you can see her shuffle through them to find flashcard insults to match the member. So the deflection starts off with trying to insult. And we're talking flashcards, the Attorney General, okay? Not legal references, not trying to, hey, let's get some justice for these children, but individualized insults for members of Congress that are trying to get to the bottom of it, okay? So instead of answering questions about Epstein, she goes through pre-written attacks, okay? The deflection. And this is where it gets darker. Bondi appears to have printouts of the various Congress that has looked through the DOJ Epstein database. Okay, let that sink in. Let that sink in. And we'll take a screenshot of
Let me fast forward a little bit more.
Shows that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General.
as soon as she put on her costume. Why is the from, again, one of the most disturbing things that I've seen, okay? We have an email here, Snow White. The Snow White was F twice as soon as she put on her costume. Why is the from name redacted? There's an image of a young woman redacted, obviously underage,
young girl,
in a Snow White costume.
They like to say they're women.
These people need to burn in hell, really. And I cannot understand how you can, at this point in time, at all defend this administration. And the red hats get so tired of, they're trying to indict him. This is beyond that, dude. This email here, you should be sharpening your K-bar at this moment. Anyone trying to defend this administration at this point forward, you are complicit to this. Are you standing on the right side of history or not? Bragging about assaulting someone twice, a child. Then we have this email referencing a 9-year-old. New Brazilian just arrived, sexy and cute. The from redacted. Why on earth are we calling a 9-year-old using this language? Now look at this one. Age 10. Name from redacted. Those aren't victims' names. 10 years old. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is not a rumor. That is not a mistake by the DOJ. That is the email, and it is redacted. Co-conspirators are being blacked out. And then there's this thing circulating that Bondi said this should terrify everybody. Because if your system cannot survive prosecuting child abusers, it's corrupt beyond repair, and we need to start over. Massey said it right here, listen.
A few years from now is, where were you on the Epstein issue? Just like before.
That's why I want to get to that part there, because she was saying it's so corrupt that if we start prosecuting, the whole system would crash, like being too big to fail. So that just goes to show you this thing been corrupted all the way from the core. And we always said that, the whole system was fucked up from the beginning. And he's even said that. So now these Edomites got to face the music. The camera's pointed at their face. They're looking right in the mirror now, seeing themselves, man. And it's a harsh reality for these Edomites, who always held themselves up as being the beacon of morality to the world. So it's just a beautiful time that we in, man, to seeing this thing being revealed, seeing the truth evolve to where it's at today from the time of beloved Elder Abba Bivens, bringing this truth out to what it's evolved to today, man, and all these things coming to light. Revelation chapter 18, verse 7. She glorified herself, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. So we're seeing the system collapse in real time, man. We're seeing truth is being revealed, and eventually everybody's going to turn on the whore, man, because they realize that from the beginning she's been corrupting all these other nations, man, because she sits on many waters, and corrupting their governments. They use forms of blackmail where you get these politicians in these tight situations like the Epstein thing, because he's nothing, they said, was a Mossad agent. And he would use these things, and the whole system is predicated on them, each one have a dirt on the other. So one person go down, we all go down. It's beautiful, man. And just seeing this castle that's built on dominoes starting to fall, start to collapse in, to cave in, and so a whole new system is going to come into play, and that's going to be through Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Um, Revelation chapter 18, verse 6, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double. So all the hell and pain that she put out on the Israelites, man, she going to get a double dose of that in the kingdom. So Lord will, man, it's edifying. Just have to hold on, man, and watch the fireworks, and just do the work of the Lord, man. With that being said, Shalom.